Welcome to Momma, where we're nurturing souls. Hello to everybody out there in the world. I was coming on to share some of my views with you, and I'm here. Of course, I want to nurture souls. Eventually, I'd like to become more interactive as I get more subscribers. Please like and subscribe if you are watching this at a later date, and share as well. So, a couple things before I do my card pull that I wanted to discuss is um, being that I've been hearing a lot of the chosen ones lately. And when I hear that, people tend to think they're excluded from being a chosen one, or who chooses the chosen one? Well, you do. Okay. Um, my belief of being a chosen one is not anyone choosing you, it's you choosing yourself, to ascend, to find your purpose and get on your path. That's what I feel. We all incarnate in this physical world to bring something forward into this world, to experience life, but also there's a path and there's experiences. And then we came here, I believe we all come here, for a reason. Um, but it's you who has to choose uh, what that is. It's you who has to find out what that is, what your purpose are. And there's many ways of doing so. We'll discuss that a little bit further. But one of the things that I realize is that, a lot of people are seeking validation from others, to, you don't need anybody to tell you you're a chosen one. You decide that you're the chosen one in your life to make the difference in your life and to make a difference in this world, however you choose. Okay. A lot of times we're seeking validation, and that could be, you know sometimes we're looking for someone who is more in tune with their spirituality. It doesn't mean that you won't get there. Your spirituality, in my opinion, is your own. Mine is my own. What I see in people that are very passionate, or they're very um, in tune with themselves, and their knowledge is very powerful and strong and broad, right? You tend to get intimidated by that, but you're right where you need to be in your spirituality, and you can grow. It is something that it's not a race. It's something that you can decide on how you're going to, you know, uh, level up, let's say, on your spirituality, on your knowledge of spirituality. And that's, not seeking validation from others, not trying to keep up with anybody or any trends or the culture, because what I find that people are awakening naturally, meaning that they're coming out of the norm. They know something isn't quite right, or maybe they feel they've been lied to. Maybe they just feel like there's this awakening of them wanting to know more, see more. And that's just the energies that's going on in the world right now. Um, and that's a beautiful thing, because that's spirit speaking to you, and you only in you, that's between you and spirit, you and the physical and the spiritual world. That's between you and that and God. Okay, so what you're seeing, other people may not be seeing, and that's okay, right? So there's a lot of distractions, though, from keep with spirituality, because it's almost though the powers that were are knowing that people are waking up, so they're almost commercializing it or making it a big deal. So, I even seen, like, one of my kids was like, "Hey, mom, there's spells on TikTok," and I'm like, "What?" And he showed me, and I'm like, To me, and this is my opinion, I have so much respect for um, the rituals of spirituality in many different ways, whether it's a cult, which a cult just means hidden, um, that I don't think that it's just that easy. That people need to be careful with these energies and how they're dealing with them, because if you don't have the knowledge and understanding of these energies, you could very well have yourself in situations, bringing things into your life that you're not prepared to deal with. It's just as simple as that. And I find that having respect for these types of energies and understandings, you'll see that it will come to you naturally, and you will gain the interest of wanting to know more, doing your research on these things, seeking knowledge of those who have been practicing in specific type of um, spiritual backgrounds. It could be shamans, it could be herbalists, astrologers, master teachers. I mean, you name it. Even in specific religions. I am doing a live and I want you to get out of here right now. Okay, sorry about that. It's like, shut the door all the way, please. Shut the door all the way, please. Sorry. So, yes. Don't mean to be mean to my kid, but I tell you, it's like he don't want nothing to do with me. But the moment I get online, it's like they get this radar. Let me go in there and bust in the room and make noise. Distractions. Anyway, as I was saying before, that I just want to nurture souls and let them know that, you're not behind. Um, and when you make the decision to, these little lights are so weak. Let's see if I have another one. You're not behind. And when you decide to broaden your experience, what one thing that I do promote is you having a relationship with your spiritual team, your beloved ancestors, if that's something that you believe in, or whoever you pray to, asking for higher knowledge and understanding, and you will get that. And you need to pay attention when you are getting that information, because a lot of times it comes to you in different ways. Like I always say, if you listen to me before, that you will see a billboard, you'll run into somebody, right? This is a little things I got that I try to put up here. All right, let's see. Is that better? Yes. I got these things from T-Mobile Tuesday. They're free, but they don't last long at all. Anyway, back to the subject. Asking for help with whatever spiritual system or belief that you have to strengthen your knowledge and understanding is what will, I believe, benefit. And then paying attention to things around you, people around you, as you get to learn things like, because I took some classes, and I was prompted to do so because I found interest in these things out of nowhere, out of all of a sudden. Um, they're sorry, numerology. Um, there's all kinds of books, you know, and no one is the wrong book. I mean, this may look like, oh, the complete guide, complete idiot guide, but it's some really good, knowledgeable stuff up in here. It's a pretty thick book, very, very, very descriptive, um, tarot spreads. And I still haven't really read a lot of these. A lot of the things that I'm doing, I'm just kind of freelancing and doing it myself. I'm pulling cards in the ways that I feel that I need to do them, and I'm just figuring it out as it goes. But see, for me in my life, what I realize now in my own journey of knowledge of self and getting to more into in tune with my spirituality, my ascension, and my growth in my life to get on my path of figuring out what I need to be doing and what I'm supposed to be doing is that my mom was always a person that read horoscopes or was into astrology. She listened to people like Deepak Chakra. She was into those types of things as I was growing up. So I watched her do these things. I didn't necessarily uh, um, do the types of, get involved in the types of knowledge that she was learning, but I watched her do it. And I remember she used to put her water in a red jug and set it outside for the sun to charge it to get that red light. Now I'm seeing there's a lot of stuff people are talking about red lights. And this is back, I mean, this is 35 years ago. So, my mom recently, when I went to my mom's house, she gave me a book called A Feminist Tarot. Mom said, I've had that for like 20 years. I didn't even decide to read tarot until maybe the last 10 years, and really maybe the last five. I'm getting a little bit more into it, but I'm taking my time in doing so, or just doing oracle cards, or just any kind of um, helping with any type of divination, right? And divination just means, what does divine mean? God, of God, right? So these tools are supposed to be godly. They're supposed to help you, um, to help others. And it's supposed to be God giving the message to you to, provide to others to help them. These things are phenomenal because, people will tell you, oh, that's the devil's work. And when you read what something means, it's not anything to do with the devil. You know what I mean? I'm gonna look up a card that everybody gets afraid of. It's the devil card, and this is the devil card, right? In tarot. And so upright, it means bondage. The chains on both figures are removable at will. They link the fingers to the throne of material immediacy. That is to the experience of life without the sense of history or association, sensation divorced from understanding. There are parts of the querent or of a social political situation surrounding her which are not yet understood on any level. They are buried deep. They need to be placed within a historical context and their association made clear. The corruption of an early pan figure or a satire into the evil devil is a Judeo Christian embellishment that aids the notion that all of nature is less than mankind and thus in need of taming. The chains are habits forged of unreflected upon happenings where the querent has been the unconscious agent or victim, essentially a self limitation or oppressive circumstance not yet recognized, understood, or even felt as pain. Resignation, depression, which is the querent only, if the querent only knew it, are easily thrown off. Traditional meanings are self destructiveness, bondage to material, subordination, evil, weird experiences. And so in my opinion, when I pull a devil card, it usually means, it could mean that yes, there is something evil, but it also means that have you ever heard of that saying, the devil is a lie? Well, I'm not religious. I'm not tied to any dogmas, but I say, when I say the devil is a lie, is when you tell yourself something that is not true, but you're in victim mode, or you create something, you bring you tie yourself up in bondage and stuff that you don't have to. And I usually say that to people who self-talk to themselves in a negative way, and they have no reason to do so. I'll just give you a little example. I was talking to a family member, and he was feeling down on himself because of some things that were going on in his life health wise. And so he decided that the world was against him and everybody around him hated him. And so what I told him was is that the devil is a lie, because there's so many people around you that want to help you, but in your mind you're telling yourself that, or whatever that is that's telling you that you don't have people that have you. That's putting you in a victim mode, tying you up in bondage, so that, number one, you are looking at everything in a negative way, and you're not seeing the things around you that are there to help you. There's so many things that are around you to help you, but instead you put yourself in, and that's how you manifest. If you think negatively, and you tell yourself lies, or tell yourself untruths, or things that really aren't happening, no one ever said anything to this person bad. No one, and all that people did was try to help this person. All that people did was try to help this person, even through their inefficiencies and the things that they weren't doing for themselves. They had a army of people and from the spirit realm around them to assist them and help them in this world. Yet they didn't see it that way, because in their mind they're tied up in bondage, and the devil is lying to them. That voice in them is telling them. So what we have to do when we have those situations is we need to turn those things around. When we start feeling those ways, immediately when you wake up, if you're not saying thank you for everything that I have, no matter what the situation is, then you need to start. Especially when you're waking up in a warm bed, and you got food in the refrigerator, you got a bathtub to wash your ass in, and a toilet to go to the bathroom in. You need to be very thankful. Okay. And then another thing that you realize is that the more that you talk to yourself with love, if when these negative things start popping in, because it becomes almost like a habit. It could be some negative attachments around you, and you know sometimes those negative thoughts are given to you sometimes, and you need to recognize that. You need to be self-aware, and what you say when you wake up and you're just like, oh man, here I go. Turn it around. Oh, I'm glad I'm able to get up. At least I got a job. Oh, well, at least I have the ability to get on my phone to look for something. At least I got legs to walk and do what I need to do. Whenever it is that you don't want to do something, or you're feeling that negative talk, turn it around immediately. How you interact in the world is how it's going to interact with you. The energy that you put off is what you're going to get back. It's very, very important. And I've learned that in so many ways that I will discuss in a later date and another time. But what I do challenge you to do, because I want to check in on the collective and people out there, and leave me messages if you ever want, any questions that you may have in the chat, and I'll check from time to time. Um, but what I want you to do is number one, if you want to be the chosen one, you are the chosen one, and always understand that chosen ones are going to have distractions, and those are going to be social media, award shows, music, people, relationships, codependency. And believe me, I will say this. There are times when I'm saying I need to really get on here more. I really need to build this for the world, because I believe that this is one of my callings, right? But I will easily find something else to do. And it won't be something bad. It could just be, one of my best friends that I love to death. Oh, let's go for coffee. And then I come home late. Or I'll find myself doing something that I know I needed to take the time out to get disciplined and set this, hold on. This little light's going out on me too. Anyway, get disciplined and start really working towards this channel, because what I put into it is what I'm going to get out of it, right? So again, um, let's check in to see. I want you to check in. I challenge you to check in to see where you are in your life right now, and how can you grow. What things that you may need to um, put on the back burner or just let go of. And I mean, you know, it's not going to be easy, but, choose you. Choose you, choose your ascension. And, I'm going to go ahead at this point and I'm going to pull some cards and oracle cards. And I'm going to pull a couple of light seer tarots just to get an idea for the collective of what spirit, any other messages that spirit may want to give you. Uh-oh. Yeah, I needed like a little table or something to work with. But this will do for now. Let me just get these things up, mixed up really well. Spirit, is there any specific messages that we have for the collective? I'm going to pull. Oh, two things came up. Four of Cups, Nine of Wands, and the Hierophant. I would say that how this is pertaining to what we're speaking about tonight, I would like to say that, um, instead of us looking at what we don't have, you see this young lady, she's just looking out like she's in lack, like, okay. We need to get out of that mindset. We're not in lack, um, and get into this energy. It's a Nine of Wands, and it's, you know, this young lady, she's looking out into the uh, into the world, to take some type of action. It's going to be hard work, right? But it's time for you to take action and not be living in lack. And then we have what's called the Hierophant, right? And so that's Taurus energy. And what that means is that great things are going to be coming your way if you get out of this lack. Start taking action. The universe is going to step up and provide you with what you need and want. And again, that's what we're talking about. You being the chosen one, you choosing you to be the chosen one in your life. Okay? Not being one of the 144,000, not no, 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 no. We're not talking about that. Okay? And then I'm going to pull some for oops, the magic herb. It's one of my favorite. See what the magic herb is telling us here for Spirit. What messages do we have for? All right, let's try this light again. I tell you, these things are weak. A little weak. Right, this thing is out already. There we go. There we go. See? You see me a little bit better. This one just was going out on me. I probably should. I do have a better light, but I need to pull it out. All right. Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective? Are those that are choosing to be the one in their lives and to make a difference in this world? Um, you know, who's like they say on the airplane, you got to put the mask on yourself first before you can help anybody else, right? So choose to learn about you. Choose, to acquire the knowledge and information of self so that you can help others. Okay, let's see. What do we have, Spirit? What messages do we have for all these beautiful people? Oh, we got a lot. Eh, I'm going to take, I guess I could take all three. We have dreams, and that is California Poppy. We have desires. Darn it, where's my glasses at? Boy, I got a little too much going on around here. Okay, dreams, desires, Damiano, awakening, golden seal. Oh, the glasses are on my head. Okay, yeah, need to get together. All right, so I'm gonna read to you what um, these are saying. Okay, so again, um, you know, what are your dreams, your desires? And like I said, we are all in our own ways awakening, and we are all on our own path. So what someone else is awakening to, you could be awakening something to something totally different. Okay, so for dreams, there is an indication that something thought over will reoccur and re enter your life soon. Your dreams, both while sleeping at night and daydreaming, will be holding vital information at the moment, so you need to pay closer attention. Intuition will also be heightened. You are being guided to trust not only your own, but that of those surrounding you. Give your imagination a bit more freedom in any work or challenging projects you are undertaking. An answer you may be awaiting on should be forthcoming shortly, and those having difficulties will find relief soon. See? So, again, um, pay attention to your dreams, um, and your intuition. Something is coming in that is for you, information for you. Pay attention to it. Um, if you don't know what it is, it's coming in shortly. Trust and believe. And if you are into astrology, look at some of these astrology channels where they're talking about different planet alignments. Because I know we have, I think it's Pluto into Aquarius, or Pluto in Aquarius, coming up around March 22nd, 23rd, which is supposed to set off a real big energies, good, bad, whatever you decided to be. But, when you listen to astrology and a lot of, like monthly astrology um, forecasts, and then you look at the times of what's going on in your life or things that are happening, it sometimes it makes sense. Like you're like, oh, that's why I've been feeling that way, or that's why these people been going crazy around here. Or it's a full moon and you notice somebody in your apartment building who has mental issues is really acting up, and it's because it's a full moon. And then there might be some other type of planet alignments that are going on at that time, and you're like, okay. And I just think that it gives you a little heads up on things. You may not know exactly what's happening, but understanding the types of energies, just like when you notice, like sometimes, ooh, men being on me lately, or women, man, I've been like a chick magnet, and you just sometimes there's just like some very favorable Venus alignments, or Jupiter, which represents abundance. Maybe it's a Jupiter Venus sextile or something like that, where, it just makes you more, the energy more magnetic. right? And so, yeah, it's like I said, it's very interesting. One of the channels that I listen to on the regular is Lady Donchiva. Her name is Astrolata, and she has so many different astrologers on her platform that I like to listen to. Like in specific, there's one named Sama or Sema. He's a brother, and he does a financial astrology for like the next 5 or 10 years, and I mean, it's very interesting. Like, because then you can see how things are kind of playing out right now, especially if you go back and you look, like, let's say you do December's forecast for 2023. And then you go and, like, right now, how they're having like some of those banks that are crashing. I know that the Silicon Valley one just crashed, and I think another one's crashing. But if you look at the forecast, it'll tell you the energies of the planet alignments, and then it'll tell you like what's going on with the energy and why things are happening the way that they are. And then you see these things happen, and you're like, wow, it's very interesting, right? Okay. So then let's talk about desire, is the next one. Desire, Damiana. The pursuit of what you long for and the achievement of its obtainment are indicated. Something you long for could be in the spotlight and having a greater ripple effect through your life than usual. Is this a good thing? Perhaps. But be careful your desires do not cloud your focus or true purpose. Ambitions, passions, and goals are all in a state of progression, as are calculated risks. A very important concern will come into your life shortly that needs your full commitment and attention. Relationships become more physical and passionate. And again, for me, when it's pertaining to what I'm talking about tonight, is that you're going to find a lot of things coming at you just into your mind. These thoughts will be given to you, or you'll see things around you that you really resonate strongly about. It's like, gosh, I really find that interesting. I don't know why. I normally wouldn't be interested in it. That's spirit coming to you into, like that. It's unseen things behind the scenes that are trying to help you get on your path. There's unseen energies, spirit guides, ancestors, God, whatever you name it. They're trying to get you on your path. You have to discern whether or not it's something good for you or not. You have to discern whether it's a distraction or if it's a initiation into something to help you learn and gain more knowledge about something, right? How do you know that? Well, if something's taking up your time and taking you away from things that you know you need to be working on, more than likely it's a distraction, right? If it's something that brings you more, it causes you to want to know more, then more than likely it's something that's supposed to be there in your life. Something that's meant to make you be your higher self is going to uh, uplift you into that. It's going to guide you into that. It's going to inspire you to be your higher you. People, places, and things will inspire you to be your higher you. Okay. So you'll know the difference. Okay. So pay attention. And then awakening. And this is something that I was talking about earlier. We are all awakening. And if you do listen to any astrology, or if you just listen to some spirit people that are very deeply into spirituality, um, they are telling you that this is called the Great Awakening. We're entering into the new age of Aquarius, the Aquarian age, right? It's the age of knowing. So we're awakening. We're we're things that were hidden are coming out, um, even in the news or in your life, in your mind, in your family. Um, and it can cause, you know, feelings of um, deception, or that you've been deceived, or but when you know what the Aquarian age is and it's about, it won't be a surprise to you when you find out that you've been deceived, or there were things that were hidden from you that now or right in your face, and you need to make the decision and the choice on how you're going to move forward, right? And so you might want to look into some videos about the Aquarian age, what it's about, and who knows, what that might lead to for you. Okay. So that is awakening number 5. And that herb is golden seal. Okay. The call to rise and rally is surrounding, along with the power to activate the strength and tools required for any initiative you may be planning to undertake. A loosening up of attitudes is called for, or a softening of rules and conventions. Don't get caught sleeping or daydreaming, as the time has come that you have been waiting for. Perhaps, too, you need to look beyond the surface of something that has held your focus. This is a positive message or a brighter tomorrow and an increase of finances or resources. Again, loosening up the attitude is called for. Loosening up, on the things that you thought you knew, and being open to learning new things, being open to more knowledge and understanding, right? Loving yourself, finding about knowledge of self, an understanding of yourself. What makes you tick? What makes you think the way that you do? Why do you behave the way that you do? Look back into your life and ask yourself, what causes me to hoard things, for instance? Well, maybe you didn't have a lot as a child, and maybe you struggled, and so everything that you get, you hold on to, right? What makes me treat people the way that I do, or not want to be in relationships? It's a fear a lot of times. I was listening to someone the other day. I don't remember exactly who it is, but like they did say that people, most of the two emotions that people, there's really just two emotions, and she said love and fear. Right. When you're acting in love, you know, it just it beats all boundaries. It's just your heart is wide open, right? But the reason why people don't live in the love frequency and open up their heart is because they're afraid. They're afraid that they're going to get hurt. But what if you didn't have to be afraid of getting hurt? What if you could just love without freely, without worrying about if somebody hurt you, right? Because that means that you are a stable individual of strength, and you are not worried about if someone else is not going to give back to you. You just emulate love, you give it. You're not worried about if someone else is going to give it back to you or not. You know that spiritually, or that you are loved, and you are love. We all are. It's the choices that we make, right? But when we're in fear, we hold back, we hold on to things, and we don't allow things to flow as they are, which, because we're in fear of rejection, being taken advantage of, um, not getting the love back, that which is basically rejection. Well, what if you could just love freely without worrying about getting something back, right? It may not be from that person or thing. You may not get something. It's like pulling over on the side of the street and helping somebody who has a flat tire, right? They aren't necessarily going to give you anything right then and there, but I believe that the spiritual aspect of it is that you're you being a good Samaritan. It's going to come back on you. Karma's going to come back on you. The seeds that you plant and the good things that you do will come back for you. You know, when you're walking down the street and you smile at someone and you get a smile back. Sometimes people don't smile back, but it doesn't matter, because you are giving, you're spreading your love, you're spreading your good energy, your good vibration, right? And sometimes people aren't even paying attention, or they're just not used to people being friendly or giving, freely of themselves, right? But what I find is how I interact with the world is how the world interacts with me. So I'm not walking around here, oh, well. I just want to be a quiet little mouse, and I don't want to make any ripples anywhere and say anything or do anything. No, because that's not my heart. My heart is, I like to smile. I like to say hi. I like to be friendly. That's just who I am. I'm not expecting anybody to be who I am and what I am, but this is what I emulate. This is how I vibrate. And 9 times out of 10, I get that back 10 times fold. Right. So, anyway, beautiful world, I just wanted to, pop in and, provide some nurturing to some souls out there who need it. And again, like and subscribe. I hope that we become more interactive in the future. And thank you very much for listening. If you did, when you do listen, all right, have a good day or night.